I've been going through the new magic items found in this new Bigby's book, and something is just really bothering me. GameMasters here, and I've noticed this in several books actually, but I'll give you an example using the new Bigby Presents Glory of the Giants. And, well, I just wanted to point this out. There are a few elements in this book that are somewhat lacking in information. And as mentioned, I've been seeing this across several of the more recent books. But here, for example, we have the new magic item, the Thunderbuss. I mean, it looks kind of neat, and it is shown to be a very rare pistol. And actually, let me read this to you word for word. I really don't want to mess up my complaint here. This magic ranged weapon is a flared pistol with the storm rune engraved along the barrel. You gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. It requires no ammunition, its damage is thunder instead of piercing, and it doesn't have the loading property. Now, while the description is kind of cool, we don't really know how much damage it can do. And this is what I'm talking about in lacking information. I mean, generally speaking, thunder damage usually does some form of D6. And I know from the DM's guide that a pistol does 1d8 damage. So is this just shooting it, is it just going to deal 1d8 thunder damage or something d6 thunder damage? 1d6, 2d6? Let's keep reading and see if that sheds some light. Invoking the rune. As a bonus action, you can invoke the weapon's rune to launch a ball of energy to a point you can see within 30 feet of yourself. The energy then detonates into a 10-foot radius sphere of turbulent wind and thunder centered on that point. And each creature in that sphere must make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 3d6 thunder damage, and it can't take reactions until the end of your next turn. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage only. Once the rune has been invoked, it can't be invoked again until the next dawn. Okay, so we now know that invoking the rune itself can cause 3d6 thunder damage, but we still don't know how much damage you can do simply shooting it without invoking the rune. I'll admit, perhaps I'm being a little nitpicky, but it's lacking information like this that makes running a game difficult, as what it will ultimately do is cause the DM to have to pause while they reference a book, or at the very least just make something up on the fly to move the story along, and then have to reverse that decision or change how something works later. I'm not a fan of that. And as I mentioned earlier, I know that this information, or that the lack thereof, has been absent and kind of non-specific for quite some time in D&D books. It's not exactly a new thing. But the bigger question I guess I'm also asking is, why? I mean, what shifted that caused the creators to decide, well, let's let the DMs and players figure it out? And don't get me wrong, I'm perfectly content with crafting my own interpretations for my table, but I can't help but wonder about the implications when a player who's experienced my style of filling in the gaps and joins your table and encounters different interpretations. To me, that's the even bigger question. Now, one thing that these guys don't have to question is my heartfelt gratitude. I really don't like to do sponsored ads, and the support that these folks provide help to offset that. It contributes to the success of this channel so that when those, hey, can you read this advert during your video, emails come in, I can trash them. And now if you'd like to contribute to the support, I'll leave a link down in the description. So what do you guys think? How helpful would it be if the printed material that specified being able to cause damage actually provided what that damage amount is? Griping aside, there are some fun elements to this new book, and if you'd like to see our thumb through and first look at what all can be found within, be sure to check out this playlist. Talk to me down in the comments, let me know your thoughts on this seemingly missing information, and until next our paths cross, may you dish out something D6 thunder damage.